Hey, YouTubers and friends, how you doing tonight? Welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jess, Dano, and the Treasure Vixen. We have Rose tonight, and I. Hey, Mark, if you want to dance, go right ahead, buddy. Get those elbows and knees going. All right, we have Dylan from Miller Prospecting, Pay Dirt and Reviews and More, something like that. We'll get the lowdown. Your mic's still off, Jesse. They can't hear you. Only I can. Oh, okay. Well, now they hear me talking. No mosh pits out there. Jesse's no fun.
I'm old. You hurt me.
Now you're hot. Your mic's hot. Whatever.
I shoot from the sidelines. How's that?
There you go.
Hey, everybody. Don't go away because I'll be right back with these clown friends of mine. Hey, YouTubers and friends. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jets, Dano, the Treasure Vixens, and I. How you all doing tonight? Jesse, Dano, Rose, or Rose, Dano, Jesse, however you prefer.
Beautiful as can be.
Absolutely fabulous.
Fabulous. Wonderful dog.
How are you doing, Ed?
I'm a little tired. Like you said earlier in pre-show, got quite a bit of old vitamin D today, and I was playing in rebar and tying bar, and I got my shorts snagged a few times, my skin snagged a few times. I do give I give every job I work on a little bit of my blood and sweat.
I had a needle stuck in my knee today, so that was fun.
Yeah, and you told me it was painful. I bet Ruby got a kick out of that.
She was at work.
Oh.
The hydrocortisone or the steroid in there to help you feel better?
No, it's not. No, it's a lube.
They were greasing his joints.
Yeah, they were giving me a lube job.
I've had those before.
Yeah, it's a series of 3. This is my second one.
Yeah, those are fun.
Well, you need to be ready for the Sierras when we're out there in September. That's going to be one of the best birthdays I've had in a long time.
You're going to have to rent me a mule.
Working towards it.
Carry me up and down the mountains.
No.
I'll give brother a hand best I can, Justin.
Then we'd both die. I'll take rest with you, like Dano said. I'll rest with you. You're a bro, you know. You get tired, we'll kick back, relax.
Actually, my knee is getting better. It's just in between shots. It hurts. Like, when I got this morning, I was feeling great. Finally was feeling, but then I knew I had to go in for another shot today. So this one don't seem as bad. Well, I mean, actually, this one was worse going in than the first one was. First one was no big deal at all, but this one went in, and the fluid going in hurt, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not having the pain now that I did the first time either. My knee's feeling better.
Well, that's good. That's good.
That's good.
Definitely.
And remember, Jesse, we're brothers in arms on that.
It was funny because I went in. I was going to ask the doctor, who doesn't see me at this point. He just lets his nurse practitioners do it.
My knee's been bothering me lately too. I've had to wear my brace the last few days.
Well, I went in. I asked him. I said, "Well, is this supposed to hurt like that? What's the deal with this? I was really in a lot of pain over the weekend."
No pain, no gain.
Right,
Yeah, you
right.
gotta toughen up, Jesse.
So
Toughen up.
I said, well, should I still be doing therapy? She says, yeah, go to therapy.
He needs
Come
therapy,
on,
all right.
snowflake, don't melt. Go to therapy. Do this. It'll be fine. Fine, I'll go to therapy too.
Just remember, Jesse, I got all donor ligaments in my left knee, and I get out there and do her, buddy. You can do her. You can do
I
it.
know it. Boy, but I tell you what, the pain was so bad. I'm thinking, man, I'm going to lose out on this trip. If this don't stop hurting like this, that's going to be a plane trip I'm going to lose, you know?
Just keep your stretching up and everything you need to do.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing it.
You could still come, Jesse. Just rest your knee.
Just put them in a wheelbarrow. And just wheel them around everywhere.
We could shove you in a barrel and roll you down the hill. You'll get there a lot faster than us, but you might be shooken up for a minute.
Oh, look who's in here joining the peanut gallery and saying something. Radio, what's up? We should say hi to our friends, huh?
Yeah.
We should.
9 minutes late.
Yeah, he's late again.
Doggone it.
How are you tonight?
Susan, good to see you. Luke Duke, Jonathan Friend, Richard Davis.
Absolutely.
There's Walter.
Yeah, Walter, what's up?
Hey, Relics and Stacked Stones. We do have someone from across the pond in.
Richard's in here.
Yeah.
JP Lonzamore.
Oh, yeah, he's here too. Walter.
Benzo was here, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought I saw him earlier.
Who?
Benzo.
Benzo?
Yeah, he was in there earlier.
And I saw Rose was
okay.
here in the chat.
Sorry, I missed you, Benzo, and
Alabama Dirt Digger.
Michael Busy Bee Detecting's listening while he's putting together his IKEA shelves.
Jelly
Michael
Duck,
Busy.
100. Welcome.
Jonathan Friend.
Yes. He sells pay dirt also. Black mass,
Jason,
I believe.
Prospecting. What's up, buddy?
He's actually in the States now. He's in Pennsylvania. He's dying to get on the stream with us, guys. So,
Cool.
definitely. Terry, our Australian friend Terry Marshall's in the house.
Yeah.
Welcome.
David Villa.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to meet up with David Villa when we're in the Motherlode?
I don't know. Are you going to come looking for us?
We got a pretty big list of people to meet up with out there. I hope we meet at least 7/8 of them.
No doubt. We
everybody that comes in our chat room and says hi to us. I'd love to meet them all out there.
We have our friend from Kuwait in the house. Hey, Jelly Duck.
I saw that.
Mark Miller. I've seen you around, but just started coming to town to
girl.
Flashville.
Ambient girl.
Hi, Nancy.
There he is, world's best moderator, the king moderator of YouTube, Mr. Lodak. What's up, Jaron?
I found another gun, guys.
Who did?
Yeah, I just found another one. This one was like, I mean, it was pretty fresh. He couldn't pull it back, but I mean, it hadn't been in there that long.
Who found it?
Snorkel Pirate.
Oh, really?
Oh,
nice.
Aaron did. Right on. Oh, I just watched one of your videos the other day, and so Angela don't like green olives, huh?
You know what? She lucked out because green olives it wasn't that.
Oh, that paste stuff you had looked like astronaut
that
food.
anchovy paste.
Oh. No wonder you went into the kitchen.
Oh yeah, you guys. Look, I couldn't keep heaving on camera. I tried to. I had to walk away. It was so bad.
Was it real salty?
No, it was really chemical based. That's the thing is I probably could have handled the salt and I probably could have handled fish, but it just tasted like chemical.
You could always have some Vegemite with it.
Bring on the Vegemite.
That stuff's horrible. Vegemite. Oh.
There's no way it could be as bad. Yeah, I think it was supposed to like mix it in. You know, just.
It's supposed to be just a flavoring. It's supposed to be just a flavoring that you would put in someone's dish.
Yes.
Give it a little flavor.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have put a pinch on the smoked oysters.
My mistake. It was my mistake. Lesson learned. So.
Dylan,
Yes.
the Treasure Vixens had a kind of a dare type video challenge, yeah. So I believe it was Crusty Rusty, or what's the Destination Rust? Huh?
Destination Rust.
Destination Rust. And the Treasure Vixens had a challenge who could magnet-fish the most, and our girls lost.
Oh, they kicked her butt.
So
Magnet fishing's hard. Magnet fishing's hard.
Let me see. The last one I saw, Aaron lost, and he had to eat some yuck.
Yeah, karma, guys. Watch out for that karma.
You just got to think of something good to make them eat next time you win.
Yeah.
If you win.
I got some stuff tucked up my sleeve, guys. People are in trouble.
Well, if we ever do a challenge like that, Rose, remember, I can't stand Reese's peanut butter cups. I hate them. They're disgusting. It's like eating Vegemite. Let me tell you, it's oh my God.
Well, you ate it all. It wasn't that bad.
What?
No, Ed eating the Vegemite. He ate the whole piece of bread, so it must not have been real horrible.
Yeah.
Well, he might have been really hungry. You never know.
Well, you never know. Yeah, might have been hungry.
I was just being brave for the team. No, it's definitely an acquired taste, you know. Definitely. You guys will get your chance. I should have.
I can't stand hot sauce.
I'll try it. I'll try Vegemite. I don't care.
I'm not a fan of beer. I don't like beer.
Oh
You're
my
hearing
God.
my dog bouncing around, clicking and clacking. Hey, Vicky, and I see Victoria just showed up.
Hey, Vicky and Ryan, how are you?
GoPro Unlimited, Jason Com.
Welcome. Our Canadian friend Jason.
Nickel and dime coin owner. JP.
Welcome.
What's up, JP?
Yeah, we'll have to start thinking about next year's Splash Bash, because you know it will come before we know it. And it won't be an election year, so shouldn't be no riots, coronavirus, or anything else.
Any other
Yeah, that's all going to fade away at the end of November.
Hopefully the next bash tops the last bash.
We put on an outing, had a great time. This year it was a solo outing. The year before we collaborated with a friend of ours with another channel. That was a great time too, but so many that were at both of them.
Flash bash.
It was great. Can't wait for them. Peter wants his ticket early. We're still working on where we want it. You know, it could be Ohio, Indiana, it could be Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, I don't know.
Indiana.
Yeah, close to Indiana sounds good to me.
West Virginia.
Yeah. Well, West Virginia, their mining laws are really strict.
Yeah, I was just thinking
So
about that. No.
Virginia, maybe. Hey, Shane, Clash Guitars is in the
Shane's in the
house.
house.
What's up?
Oh, Clash.
Blue Pan Prospecting, welcome, welcome, welcome. Actually, I just purchased a bag of Clash Guitars pay dirt. So it shipped out today, I believe. That's what the email said. So looking forward to seeing what kind of goodies is in Shane's bag.
Yeah, I saw that, Jonathan. But I saw it at 1840 and 21 something. So yeah, but it's up there for gold and silver.
Yeah. As long as it keeps going up.
1843 and 21 something.
And JP got his Blemish Gold Club today, Jesse.
Cool.
Nice, nice. Is it really blemished, or is it the blend from when he changes the dye?
I think it's just a color blemish.
I like those. I think those are cool.
Yeah, like that smoky one that one guy won.
Mm-hmm. That one was cool.
It's screwed. We can't win any of our own giveaways.
I'm like a hippie fan.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about doing a giveaway is not being able to
Right,
keep
we
the
can't-
prize.
Right, Dylan. Right. HD. I hope
HD.
Judy's doing much better.
The other
Hey, Ed.
There's
shout
a
out
great
to
guy.
Judy. Oh, she may be listening. Hi, Judy. Hope you're getting better. Hope things are working out for you.
Mhm.
Much love.
Yes, very much so. Judy's a great gal.
He
It was
says,
a pleasure having them with us the last couple of years.
JP says just 2 dimples in the corners of the first big ripple.
Oh,
You don't use those
okay.
in the corners? Yeah, they're not even. That's nothing. That's not even in the work area.
Right.
That's not even in the work area. Work area is right down there in the center.
Hey, T-Bone, how you doing, Anthony?
This next one would be as big as the table.
Yeah, 6 foot, two man claw.
I was using a little bit down in southern Ohio. I liked how you could go through a lot of material and it catches
Yeah,
fine
you
gold
use it.
too.
Yeah, you use it, right?
I videoed him a bit, but I got
Yeah.
pulled away towards the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're videoing, people start talking to you and they don't realize what you're doing. Then you have to turn and pay attention to them and quit video.
Hey, what are you doing over there? Are you videotaping?
No, I'm standing here with a camera pointed at Ed.
Right. I'm down in
Sorry.
Ed's face with my phone pointing at him. What am I doing?
JP
Taking a
says,
selfie.
yeah, right. JP says he thinks it would help if they were in the work area.
Doing good.
The
Ed, hope everything's
dimples?
good with you and family.
Yeah, I think I saw a picture of them, and they have little dimples in the little, like a bubble that burst in the
Yeah,
plastic.
I thought I saw something like that. It looks like
Yeah.
we might be having a little buffering issue tonight.
I've noticed that.
That's just my face.
Your face is buffered.
Yeah, it just makes it do that.
Oh,
If my face is on camera too long, it messes up the internet.
well.
Oh, well, we better get to you then. Welcome
let's-
to the show, Dylan.
Thank you for having me, Ed.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's our
glad to be here.
pleasure.
See, now, like a lot of our other guests, they'll just sit back and wait, be quiet, wait. Not Dylan said, "No, I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to get into this."
Oh, from the
Everyone's been staring at
get-go.
my ugly mug for the last 15, 20 minutes. Doesn't hear me.
Do it, Ed. Hit him.
Hit him.
Pin him up.
All right. Oops. Doggone it, I did it again. Sorry, Dylan. Turn back your camera.
Jeez.
That's not pinning them, Ed.
No. Oh, man. Only on live
We need to
entertainment.
talk to the key grip guy. He's not doing his job right.
Oh, I don't want to turn on my camera.
Ed done wiped him out.
I guess we still need another 3 years to learn.
I
I
wanted
told you it's
to.
my ugly mug.
I went to pin you, but I clicked on the wrong one. They all saw it.
Yeah.
It won't let me start it.
Don't feel bad, Dylan. It's happened before.
It says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
I'll
I have to
have.
rejoin.
No, here. I think I can ask to start it.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Yay.
Okay, now Ed.
Now I just scared 36 people in the lobby.
Let's see if I can do this right this time. Oh.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
Are we good now?
Yeah, we're good. Dylan's pinned.
All right.
Front and
Yeah,
center.
that's it. Make my
Front and
ugly mug
center.
bigger.
Yeah, you betcha, Dylan.
Okay, I gotta go back to live again. What the hell's going on here?
I don't have
Hey,
the.
Dylan.
How's
Yeah, I
it
guess.
Thank you.
Dylan Miller, right? From Miller.
Yes, that's it. Dylan Miller.
Yes.
Unless you're a lawyer. If you're a lawyer, that's not my name.
Joseph Smith.
Yes.
Smith
You're
and
sending me a
Jones.
cease and desist about a pay dirt review. That's not my name.
I thought you said Michael.
No, I that's what I did say, but that wasn't his name. His
Oh.
name was Dylan.
Hey,
I was
Ruby.
mistaken earlier.
It's okay.
I know, Ruby. It's hard to believe I would make a mistake like that.
Really? I'm shocked.
So you do pay dirt reviews.
That's what I primarily do on my channel, yes.
Well, why do you do that?
Just so when I first started pay dirt reviews, I did it I don't know. Just became disabled and I was trying to find something to do to keep my mind busy. And I loved it. I loved panning out for gold. But then one day I got a good bag of pay dirt and realized the other 99 I had bought were skunks. So I just decided one day, well, I'll just start writing down my results, and I put them on a website. And after, I guess, about 2 years of doing that, someone told me, start putting them on YouTube. So here I am putting them on YouTube now. So just try and find the good bags, but mostly is just keep people away from buying the bad bags, because it's a great hobby. I love it. But there's nothing worse than spending 50 or 60 bucks of hard-earned money, buying a gold pan, setting everything up, and finding $4 worth of gold.
Right.
It's discouraging, and it takes people out of the hobby.
Right.
So
Now, I personally, I don't buy very many pay dirt bags because I like going out myself. I have the ability to go out.
Yep.
And
It's
so
free.
I understand the need for pay dirt bags, right?
Yep.
But I don't, and I even see the value in it too, because there's been times where I've gone out and spent a couple $100 over the weekend and not even got $50 worth of gold,
Right.
But I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So-
well, to me, that's what it's all about, is fun.
Right.
It's, I'm unable at this current point in my life to go out gold panning. And I know there's a lot of people like me
Right.
who can only be mailbox miners.
Right.
So, you want to have as much fun as possible. And the more gold you find is more fun,
Sure.
And realistically, I always tell everyone, you don't expect to get all your money back. If you spend $100, you don't expect to get 100 back, but
Right.
you don't
So
want to spend 100 and get zero, and I've had that happen before.
So like with us, when we're out prospecting or digging our spots or whatever out, out in the creek and stuff, and we're running our equipment, we put in a lot of work to do it. We me personally, I want to catch 100% of everything that I've run through my equipment, right? But I also know that's not going to happen,
right?
Because of all the variables in doing this. So I'm happy with if I'm getting 90% of the goal that I'm working for, that makes me happy.
Yeah. Plus,
right?
it's fun to just work on your equipment and try and make it better. I mean, I even do that just working on my little home sluice, trying to make it capture just that little bit more gold when I play with it,
Right. So, well, I guess my question is, what makes you happy when you're buying pay dirt?
It really just depends. I mean, I like, for me personally, I like challenging pay dirt. If I'm not doing a review, I typically like to pan out stuff with lots of flower gold because it takes longer.
So,
I love Washington Beach mining's type pay dirt just because it's all minus 50 gold. And, if you pan out a pound of, say, a normal pay dirt seller's bag, it probably takes you 15, 30 minutes, somewhere around there. But you get some Washington Beach sands, that 1 pound bag can take you 4 to 5 hours. And to me, that's just fun. It just takes your mind off everything and you just stare at your pan and you go cross-eyed for a couple hours.
So for you, it's not necessarily the amount of gold as much as it is the challenge of pulling the gold out of that.
Right. I mean, that's for me personally. I mean, I do run my channel based off a certain criteria, on how I review pay dirt. So, but I do put in things like the fun factor, things like that, just because, some bags of pay dirt are fun, really fun. And I've had some that I've given really high scores for fun that didn't have a lot of gold in it. It's just, I do it.
So for you, it's not all about the ROI.
No, I mean, it's always good to get a high ROI. I mean, I know that's what most people want to get. That's what most people are searching for when they're looking for pay dirt, is a higher ROI. And I don't blame them. It's fun, but I've had bags where I've gotten a really high ROI, 90 to 100%, and it's all been in 2 or 3 pieces of gold. And that's not fun. It takes you all 5 minutes to pan it out. And it's
woo!
There's the 3 little pickers, right?
Yeah, you're like, bam, nugget. Okay, let me go back to sleep.
It's like panning at Knott's Berry Farm. You have nothing but blonde sands and decent peppers flakes, And,
I mean, again, that is why when I do my reviews, I do a very set criteria. So, I have the ROI, I have the fun factor, I do the packaging, the description. So that way, if anyone sees at the end of all my reviews, I show my scores. So if someone's more into the ROI, they can look at my reviews and see the ones that had high ROIs. If they're ones that are looking for the high fun factor, they can look at that and just say, even though it didn't have a high ROI, the fun factor was rated 10, and they can pick out pay dirts through that as well. You know.
Appreciate that. I can really appreciate that, because me, it's like, so let's just say buying lottery tickets. Like when I buy a lottery ticket, I want a ticket that I spend time on, that I work on.
Like the bingo one to the crosswords. That's right.
Enjoying my purchase, whether I win or not, it's the experience that I want. So I would prefer your fun factor rating over anything, to be honest. Yeah, it's awesome.
I actually, my big thing for reviews is description. That's probably my pet peeve on most pay dirt sellers is description, because most don't have good descriptions, and that drives me crazy.
Well, what are you looking for?
Well, I mean, the more information, if you Google right now gold pay dirt, you'll probably get 100 websites that'll pop up. And if you see one that says Bago pay dirt, $100, then you see another one that tells you this is Washington Beach mining, you're going to get a 75% ROI. It's got blondes in it, heavy material. It's very difficult to pan. You're going to pick that one, because even if it's the same price, you know what you're getting. It's just like if you went to go buy a car and one said has 4 wheels, and then the other one told you it's miles per gallon and things like that, you're going to pick the other car. Just the more information you have. I mean, if I'm a buyer, I want to know where the pay dirt comes from, how difficult it is to pan. And that information is really good too, just for the fact that a lot of people who buy their first bag of pay dirt are novices. So if you've never bought a bag of pay dirt before, or panned a bag of pay dirt before, and you buy something from Washington Beach, you're not going to find any of the gold. You're just going to think you got skunked. even though you might have gotten 100% ROI, but you just couldn't pan it. So if there's no description, you won't know that, so it's really big for
One thing
descriptions on me.
I have a tendency to do is we like to ask the dumb questions or the newbie questions. What is ROI?
ROI is your return on investment. So if you spend $100 and you get $90 worth of gold, you have a 90% ROI. It's just what your return is of what you spent. So, and I speak about it a lot in my videos where, while I do love 100% ROIs because then it didn't cost me anything to shoot my video, it's not expected and no one really should expect that,
Right.
And it's all up to everyone. Like I said, it's up to everyone on what you consider a good ROI. If I spend $10 on a bag of pay dirt, I'm not going to expect even a 50% ROI because I know they have to ship it and stuff like that. So it's up to everyone. And that's again why I post all my scores at the end of every video.
Let me give a big thank you to Flower Gold Wizard for the 1999 super chat and our friend Jason Keith Prospecting for the $15 super chat. Thanks, guys. I'll give you a super chat.
Yeah, super chat.
Helping the channel out.
I appreciate it. My description, Dominican Republic, hard work. There you go, brother.
Jason Keith's got some good videos.
Yeah.
And very hard work.
We'll
very hot there.
We'll be prospecting with Jason Keith while he's here in the States, on the mainland.
Where are we taking him?
Oh, well, the 1st of August, he's going to be at the Wilson property, Jesse. So I think we all should do our very best to get to the Wilson property. Wilson property.
Wilson, that's what I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a day trip down there, I think, on Saturday.
How's that?
I think I'm on a day trip down there on Saturday down to the Wilson.
Yeah, I don't know if I can camp, but I'm definitely going down because Tom's going to be there, Thomas Michael, and Dyer Prospecting. Chris is going to be there from Keene Prospecting, and who knows who else. Oh, that's right. Mike and Melissa and the family are coming up from Tennessee, from M&M Prospecting. And never know, maybe Ed might come up too. Our friend HD Shovelhead. I don't know. There's plenty of OSPA members gonna be there soon. Hey, if you want to come up, meet a really good guy who prospects in the Dominican, come join us. We'll be prospecting in Southern Ohio. And Chris Dyer pulled out a nice little nugget off that lease last week. Yeah. Doggone it. I wish my clean out was better than I thought it was, so but thanks for the super chat and sorry to get off the subject. Carry on, Jesse.
Always got to thank people.
Yeah. So what were you talking about? Pay dirt bags and reviews and stuff. Go ahead.
They want to know what's the hardest review you've ever had to do.
Well, I think he's just saying that because I told him it was his.
So it sounds like he wants a shout out.
Yeah, I mean, I've had 2 really hard reviews. One was JP's, and because it's always difficult, I really like JP. He's a great guy, and he didn't get a great review, and that's really hard to do. When you want to try to be,
Fair.
Not give you're trying to be fair and everything else. It was a really hard review to do because I didn't want to give him a bad review, but it's what I do on my channel. It's why I have set criteria so my emotions can't take over and I couldn't just throw him some extra points here and there, give him a good score. But he was a great guy, and I talked to him about it. So
he is a great guy.
Yeah, it was probably one of my hardest videos. The other one would be, I think, Washington Beach mining, just because it's flour gold. And when you're shooting a video, it makes it a lot harder to cut down, to edit and stuff like that. I could go through a pound of most people's pay dirt, like I said, in 15 to 30 minutes. But when you have something that takes 5 hours and you're trying to shoot a video and you're going cross-eyed, you make a lot of mistakes. Which is why I don't tend to review that many sellers that have really fine gold. They're very far in between. I save those bags for myself off camera.
All right. Thank you, Martin.
Definitely, Martin. Thank you. Did I see in the woods with Wolfie? How are you, buddy?
Oh, yes. And JP wants me to tell y'all that the description killed him. Like I was saying before, he had a very bad description, but we're all going to blame that on Tom, right? That was Tom's fault.
Okay.
Tom, shame on you, Tom.
And I'm just kidding. They have improved their description, which is good, which is what I like. This is one of the things why I do these reviews, because you can see sellers who change, who update and do better.
I imagine there's different types of people out there reviewing also. I don't watch much of the review channels because I'm not interested in it.
If you're not buying it, then there's no reason to really watch my channels. I totally understand that.
But I noticed that some of the reviewers out there are not being constructively critical of what they're just saying it's crap, it's this, it's that. They're not really describing what's wrong with it, other than maybe the ROI.
Sadly, that's a lot of, when I originally started doing my reviews, it was only me and one other person doing reviews. It was Wayne Schmidt, who's a great guy, by the way, had some great videos. It was only me and him, but since then, as the industry has gotten bigger and more people have joined the family,
right?
There's a lot more people doing reviews. But I think a lot of people just get set on the ROI. It's sad. It's the same thing with pretty much anything, though. If you're going to buy a car, 90% of people are going to want a car that gets the best miles per gallon. Or if you're buying a truck, wants to haul the most. It's got the best towing capacity. It's just what people are set on. So, and it's why when I started my reviews, if you go back to my channel 4 or 5 years ago when I first started, I didn't have a criteria. I just pretty much said what I liked about the pay dirt and didn't. It was kind of wishy-washy. And then I decided I really wanted it to be a set pattern where I had criteria based on everything from packaging to shipping to, the ROI, just so it's not ROI. Just right. It's just not one thing. So people can pick through it and see, because for like me, I like, certain things about a bag of pay dirt. So if I wanted to go through my own reviews, I could see. It's why I classify my pay dirt down and show the different classifications of gold I find. Because if you find a bag of pay dirt that's all chunky gold, that might appeal to some people and it might be a turnoff to others. And if I do another review the next week where it's all really fine gold, again, that could be a turnoff to one person and, a great appeal to somebody else.
So not that I've never done pay dirt bags, because I want some and I do buy one once in a while or
we buy them off our chapter also.
I like buying them from our chapter because I know what our ROI is. It's really good. So so
plus it helps our chapter.
It helps our chapter, right? But,
I do like buying off of Tom's gold dirt though, because especially during his live streams, because he donates proceeds to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, veterans organizations, and so much more. So
like for me, when I do go through pay dirt bags, the thing that I don't like is going, like you said earlier, there's a few little chunks in there and you're done.
A challenge.
Because one of the things that even though I don't buy pay dirt bags, one of the things I do like is panning, because it gets me in another zone, right?
Yeah, that's why I do it. Is I love the panning. The panning
so if I
gold's the after effect.
If I just want to sit and pan, then I like something that's going to be a little difficult. Something that's going to take me concentrating on it. You know,
I agree.
but if I'm on the creek, I'm working. I'm going for production. It's different. You know, but I take my time later. You know, so.
Did you see what Shane said? Clash Guitars. I credit Miller Prospecting for my Hater review videos. He's the best.
Yeah. Keep copying me. Keep copying me. Thank you very much, Shane. I love Shane's channel.
Flattery will get you everywhere. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Tom's Gold Dirt in the house. If you pick up anything from Tom's, make sure to use coupon code FLASH at your checkout for 5% off your purchase. And I do like your reviews. I also like Shane's reviews, but I mostly watch his coin roll hunting live streams.
I love Shane's coin roll hunting. I actually love Shane's prospecting videos. That's what got me to watch him.
Right.
He does a array, geocaching, prospecting, magnet fishing, and Richard Davis. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat. My friend.
While I got an opportunity here, let me say hi to Raven and Smackarock. How are you tonight?
Very good, I hope, out there in the Arizona sun. Our friend Raven and Skipperock. I mean, Smackarock. I know, not so funny now.
What I was trying to say is that it's good to have someone who actually not only is reviewing the painter bags for the review, but also doing constructive criticism, trying to help the seller, showing them where he can improve his product.
Well, like I said, 90% of it, most sellers are pretty good.
Right.
The vast majority of sellers are good people that want to sell a good product. So, that's not what's wrong. I think mostly, like I said, my big pet peeve has always been the description. I think it always will be. Like you said, you don't like finding big nuggets. I saw earlier in the chat, someone said they went through it.
Not that I don't like finding them.
Right, but you want the panning. But
right.
Someone else said I was looking in chat, someone said they went through a 10-pound bag and found one nugget, and that's horrible. But if you put in the description, this is for beginners, you will only be a couple giant pieces of gold, then you know what you're getting.
Right.
Where, it's all about the description to me. The more you tell somebody, the more information someone tells you, the better, experience they'll have.
If you're an experienced painter and you want a challenge, here you go. Right.
So, and I can't tell you the number of sellers I've emailed and tried to tell them to change their descriptions, and some have. Like Tom, he just changed his with JP Lawns and More, which is great. And some don't care. And it's funny. Some of the best descriptions, which is really sad, are from and it's one of the things I say a lot of times is the sellers that are probably the worst sellers out there. I don't want to mention any names, on your show because it's not my show, but there's some sellers out there. Right. Okay, so I can say it now. Golden Paters is one of the most notoriously bad sellers that you will find almost no gold in. A lot of his raffles and find an ounce are all giant scams in my opinion, but he's got a great description. I mean, he's got one of the best descriptions for his paters, and there's a reason for that because he
spams it to death too.
Yeah, well, that too. But if you go on Google and you Google, pater, his site's going to pop up, and a couple other sites are going to pop up that are big sellers. He's got the best description out of all of them, and that's who people are going to lean to because they're going to say, "Oh, look at all this information he's given me; it must be good." And then they get skunked and they don't try anybody else. But if everyone had a good description, then, they would be able to pick out a better pater, because he burns more people than anybody else. And he's probably run off more first timers than anybody else. So.
I believe, though, no one should really buy pay dirt for an investment anyway in gold. Right. They have to go in with a mindset of learning or as a pleasure, when
I agree with that, but there's a big difference
creek in the winter.
time or learning. I do like that too, because Jesse always says, practice, practice, practice. And I think it's a great way to get some of that practice in for Angela and I in particular. Well, you know, we're busy, we've got a lot to do, but we want to learn how to pan appropriately. So maybe some pay dirt with the flower gold would help us learn how to pan appropriately.
I agree. But like I tell everyone, the pay dirts will always have the gold in it. So as long as you don't throw it away, you can just keep repanning it over and over and over. And I still do that. I mean, I've been doing this for 7 years and I still repan all my pay dirt all the time just for having fun, just to see if I miss something.
Well, you know you did.
Oh, yeah.
I got buckets out in my backyard. I know soil gold in it. I've gone through them
Buckets. And buckets. And buckets.
And I bet if I run those buckets again, I'll find more gold.
Probably. There gets to a point, though, where you said, okay, I've ran it enough. And it ends up going out in a pile.
Yep. Where I sit and let it ferment and run it again.
Rose, can you go into your Zoom and adjust your volume a little?
How do I do that?
You go down to your audio settings. If you push on your arrow by your mic, on the very bottom is audio settings.
Yeah.
And it will take you to a place where you could mess with your volume.
Oh, guys, I'm at the highest output level and I'm at the highest input level.
Okay, well, sorry, Benzo, not much I can do, brother.
Yeah, just tell her to scream.
My computer is 1,000,000 years old.
That's pretty old.
I didn't know they had computers back then.
That's a day younger than Jesse.
I'm not going to say it was aliens, but it was aliens.
How about now? Is it any better now?
Yes, it's fine.
Yes.
I hear you great.
You're good. I hear you. Apparently they didn't. I am very sorry for being late.
Guide. How are you? Haven't seen you in a long time.
Joseph Richard, no problem. You're here. It's better late than never, my friend.
Unless you're Earth Radio.
Yeah, unless you're Earth Radio. Ronald has to be here before we go live every week. Right, Ronald? Just giving you a hard time.
Hey, T-Bone. So, back to you.
Yes, back
So,
to me.
is that the reason you started doing YouTube videos? Specifically for that?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when I first started, like I said, I was just buying pay dirt for myself, just to combat depression and, you know, life changes when I became disabled. And it just took my mind off of stuff. And like I said, I didn't realize I was getting bad bags of pay dirt. I was buying majority of my pay dirt off of eBay, which is how I found it. I just happened to be searching for something on eBay one day and pay dirt popped up and I said, that looks like fun. I'll try that. And bought some pay dirt. And then I think I bought a 5-pound bag from Dirt Hog Pay Dirt online and found that think about a gram of gold from them, a little bit more than a gram. It wasn't still a great ROI.
Was it the real Dirt Hog?
Yes, it was the real Dirt Hog. This is before that guy started scamming everybody.
Okay.
So it was, I mean, I don't remember the results, but I think it was about a 50% ROI. And I was ecstatic. I'd never seen that much gold before. But then I found there used to be a seller, y'all probably know who he is, as goldadventures.biz. And he was selling 1 gram bags, I think at the time for like $50, which was like an 80% ROI. And I just fell in love with him. But it just made me realize, you know, if I was spending $60 on eBay and finding $5 worth of gold, how badly I'd been getting ripped off for 50 or 60 bags. And when I first started, I wasn't even trying to do reviews. I was just I had a blog. It was called, my website was called Gold Pay Dirt Reviews. And I was just telling people what I found. I'd say I bought this bag. It was fun. And, you know, this is how much gold I found. And it just kind of slowly progressed into doing reviews. You know, when I came to YouTube, it was very basic reviews, and I've just slowly been getting better, hopefully. You know.
So anything else you do on YouTube?
No, that's pretty much. I mostly do pay dirt reviews, gem reviews. I have done some magnet fishing. Like I said, being disabled, I've been out of it for the last, I think, 3 years. I've had both my knees replaced over the last 3 years. So, you know, not being able to walk for 3 years has made it pretty difficult, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's hard to do anything from your house. You can only throw that magnet so far out of your front door to catch something besides a car.
Yeah, so I imagine my whining and crying earlier just made you laugh.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I've had those injections before, the gel in between the knees to try and build cartilage. I've done all that, and you know, you're lucky if you're still in that stage. You know, the knee replacement is so much worse. I can tell you. You know,
dude, they tell me I'm too young.
That's what they tell me too, but you know,
I'm 70 years old.
They told me that I'm 50.
There was no knee replacement when I had my surgery. They had to replace my ligaments. They had to go in and replace all my ligaments. Got all donor ligaments in my left knee. But that's next. If my knee goes bad, a replacement is next.
Yep, and those aren't fun, you know. So it took
Thank goodness, though. I went through it pretty good. I got through it pretty quick, and took about a year off work to get back on my feet and go. But I don't have problems.
Yeah, well, that's what my left knee took about a year to heal, and it's perfect. I love my left knee. My right knee, we're at about 9 months, and we're planning a new surgery on it because it didn't heal right.
What is it about left knees? It's my left knee that I had surgery on too.
I don't know. And that's weird, is because that's usually the one that you're not kicking people with or kicking your car or something else. You know?
Right.
Well, but that's also the one that you do all your twisting and turning on too. You know? That's the one that you do all that torque motion with. So that's why that happens, huh? That's initially what happened with me. Somehow I tore some ligaments, right? And then it wasn't getting better, and they did an MRI on it, and the arthritis showed up. So that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you guys need to stay off your knees.
Well, mine aren't too bad anymore, but you know, one more surgery and hopefully I'm done. Then we can start working on my back and other issues. So yeah. Sadly, you need your knees. Sadly, for some reason or another, everybody needs their knees, you know.
Well, I would say my middle name is back pain, so it's Rose back pain.
Yeah.
I know that.
But I think everyone has back pain. That's just a given. It's just how soon you get your back pain, at what age, you know.
Never had back problems.
Thank God.
That's just because your knees hurt so bad you don't notice it.
There you go.
The knee is brand new. Knee or something just started.
For you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jess.
Me too. I was doing so good for 70 years. You know, no pills, no doctor visits. I was good. You know, never really broke much. Anything really important. You know.
Yeah, you want to avoid the doctors as much as possible.
I do. In fact, first time I went and saw the doctor, and she was getting my information, she says, "Where's your list of pills?" I don't have a list of pills. What do you mean? I says, I don't take pills. What? How old are you? Yeah, I don't take pills.
Yeah, because once they put you on them, you can't get off of them. That's the problem with doctors.
The longer you take those pills, the more they affect things like kidneys and livers.
Yeah.
So it can give you a pill that'll make you feel better now, but the longer you take it, the more side effects you have in the long run. So watch out.
Right, and then you'll have to take pills to take care of your liver, and then you'll have
that's
to
the way
take
it works.
pills to take care of your blood because your liver's screwed up. And yeah, I know.
That's why I avoid pills. Well, of course, I got hooked on Percocet when I had my knee surgery too, so that was a rough time.
gigantic scam. But
Yes,
I
100%.
This is Ed's Entertainment Center live on Tuesday.
Retirement center. He
I
said.
am a
Oh, retirement center. No retiring going on here.
Tuesday night geriatrics.
Yeah, there you go. But anyways, back to prospecting and that.
Yes.
Look at the price of gold today. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, imagine. Well, I don't know what you do with your gold since you've been doing this, but the gold you found when you first started is gone up, so your ROI has changed.
Yeah, if I would have gotten to keep any of my gold, it would be good. But to fund my channel, I have to sell all my gold to buy more. So it's kind of a rotating circus. The only one who's made out of this so far is my son, because the biggest nugget I find for the year, goes to him.
Oh, cool.
He's got a little collection of gold nuggets that he's hidden away from me, so I can't ever steal them. So
Not
that I would, but he's making out like a bandit. So
his retirement.
Yeah, that's what I tell him. It's his retirement. I'm sure he'll use it long before then.
Well, hopefully he hangs on to it until at least college.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Well, I won't let him. He'll have to go through me to sell it. So
You think?
Yeah. It's hard to sell gold nuggets. You can't just go into a pawn shop and sell a gold nugget.
Sure, if you'll take anything for it.
Yeah, well, that's again. Yeah, he might get $5 for it.
I've sold some to a jeweler before. He was actually all about it. He's like, "Where'd you get this?" I said, "Well, prospecting. Where do you think I got it?"
But that's one of the things I know. I get a lot of questions from people always asking me where to sell the gold. Because you don't. It's one of the harder things. You can't really go to a jewelry store and say, "Here's a pile of gold," and sell it.
Well, I was surprised they bought it from me, but he was all about it. He was interested.
Yeah, it's rare. I do know a couple of my regulars on my show do sell to some jewelry stores, but those are usually the jewelry stores that do custom jewelry. So they know to melt.
I figured they made jewelry or something.
Yeah.
Right.
So they'll melt it down themselves, and they know.
Yeah.
They'll get a purer product that way. But I always tell everyone, if you want to sell your gold, just hit up all the pay dirt sellers. They're using more gold than they could possibly be finding in most cases. So.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Well, I like to actually sell mine back to the club.
Yeah.
Same here.
I know a lot of people sell it on Facebook. They do the little Razzies and things like that.
No, I just sell it directly to the club, who makes pay dirt bags and sells it back to me.
Yeah, that's
Actually, lately I've been selling it to my audience, my flash fam. Hey Jerry, how you doing? Motherlode, California
Jerry,
Motherlode prospectors.
What's up, Jerry?
And we'll be prospecting with them in September.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And I'm getting really stoked about that. I watched Two Toes video with Bennett and Top Cat or Patriot Prospecting, and both those nuggets. I'm looking forward to doing some sniping.
That was awesome. That was an awesome nugget he found. They all found some gold.
Yeah. Do you ever watch Two Toes?
I do. I'm a subscriber of his. Sadly I don't get to watch everyone's videos, which is sad.
I hear you.
You start subscribing. I've got 100 subscriptions, and everyone wants to put out a video every week for some odd reason. So it starts to get hard to watch them all when you start seeing every morning I wake up and I've already got 20 videos in my list. It's like, okay. So sadly, I'm one of those people who goes by what the thumbnail or the title says. If it doesn't catch my eye, you're stuck in, next year's video watching.
You doing reviews and stuff like that. I mean, I think that's fair game. And I think all of us understand that we're in a YouTube game and there is you got to play. And if you're not willing to catch people's attention,
that's it.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah. But there's some channels I love. I do love Two Toes channel. I love Flash in Your Pans channel. Those are some really good channels with good content. So, I wish I could watch everyone's videos. It's one of the problems is, You know,
Oh,
it's
I
hard to
feel
watch
your pain
everybody's.
there. I feel your pain there.
No. It's even
like-
worse is when you're in a live show and someone will ask you, "Did you see my last video?" And you have to tell them, no, but I'm going to. Then I have to stay up till 2 a.m. watching people's videos and ask me if I saw it.
I'm really lucky. Angela, my partner in Treasure Vixens, she does a really good job with trying to keep up with that. And I don't know what I'd do without her because maybe like you said, about 5 videos a week is what I can try to squeeze in. Sometimes I get lucky in free time. But Angela, she's really good with keeping up with the fan base and watching everybody else's videos and trying to keep up with them. So I gotta give her a lot of credit.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Well, it's like a lot of times, like I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTube channels. Also, I don't think I'm subscribed to you. So
Why am
I
I
didn't
talking
even know
to
who
you?
you were when when Ed
Right.
told me you were coming on. And typically I watch a few of the videos. I'll go to your first video,
Right.
I come in the middle, and I just kind of watch it progress a little bit. With you, I didn't because I was in pain. I've been hurting for the last few days, so
That's okay. That's okay. I'm on the live show, so now you can ask me anything you
right.
want.
So now
That
I
makes
can
it easy.
question you, and then get to hear a little bit more about what you're about, and that's always fun.
Yeah, it makes it much quicker. You just get in the
Sure. I don't have to watch
the
all
cliff
your
notes. Yeah, you just get the cliff notes.
Yes, we know, Mr. Lodak. Isn't that cool? 1849. Everybody's loving that price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, what's that price? Is that per ounce?
Yes.
Troy ounce, yeah.
For gold.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver's over 21 an ounce.
I know. It's crazy.
Going up.
We'll have to see if it drops right after November, though. I'm gonna be curious to see what happens to gold, after the election. So
Huh.
that's usually a big tell right there. So
Yep.
uh,
He said
find out.
it's 22.33. Keeps going up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably hold on to mine for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
At least until before the election, right?
Right. Yeah. At least
You
until
know?
the election. See how the election's going. Either sell it or buy more.
Yeah.
It was a Corona after the election.
JP, that's a great question. I've actually placed some money on a gamble. I can't wait to see what happens.
Well, oh, you did, huh?
Mhm.
What was the bet?
Mine was $20 to me if it still exists after the election.
On silver?
Oh no, just $20. Sorry, I wasn't talking about silver or gold. We're just talking about
The coronavirus.
Oh.
coronavirus. Yeah,
Oh.
Oh.
a lot of people think it'll be gone after the election.
Well, look, here's the reality. It's never going to be gone.
Yeah. It's just like it's the new flu. That's all.
Yeah, right.
It's the new
The
flu.
new-
Well, coronavirus has been around for a long time.
Yeah,
This is
it's
just
right.
another
It's just-
strain.
Right.
Yeah.
New strain.
It's just a better, new, and improved strain of the flu. So
Brought to us by the
Yeah.
Chinese.
Yes.
Because
Definitely.
of that person, how many people that died from the coronavirus got a flu shot every year? Sorry, I'm a little conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
the point with that, Nano? What is the point of this?
Well, you get a flu shot for free. What does the government give you for free? Absolutely flipping nothing.
That's right.
Why are they giving you that flu shot? Are they using you
They're
for
gonna
a
make
test,
you-
perhaps?
Hey, for
Vaccinated.
had like 2 flu shots in life, and both of them I paid for. So, are you saying that the flu shot is the culprit?
Oh, I'm just saying. I've never took the flu shot, and knock on wood, I ain't had the flu in a lot of years.
Yeah,
My
me
mother and
neither.
father-in-law take it every year, and they're sick.
Oh,
I take lime with my corona.
I'm a firm believer in you get the sickness, you gain immunity. If you avoid the sickness, you get very weak.
You know,
That's it.
When we was little kids, if you got chicken pox, what they do? They had a family reunion and had all you kids get it at once.
I know when my cousins had chicken pox, I had to cross a 4-lane street to go play with them. So.
Yeah, I had the pox party too. But Daniel, I'm interested in that theory because I had a doctor who is now fired who forced me into a flu shot 2 times. So I've only had a flu shot twice. I also believe in just getting the flu and letting your body, build its immunity.
Do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, for sure. But what the 2 years that I got the flu shot, I did not get the flu.
Well, that could just be bad luck.
Right.
Or good luck.
Yeah. So I'm curious. I'd like to see this theory. I've heard the same theory. I'd like to see how that plays out.
But yeah, it's always better for everyone to get sick. I'm a big firm believer in if you don't get sick your whole life, you're just in for a worse case later on when you do get sick.
I was born in 1950, and in 1968, I was hoping to make it to 30 years old.
It's been shown, they've done studies where they've shown kids who are homeschooled tend to get sicker later in life because and have worse issues with things like the flu and chicken pox because they never had it as a kid. They weren't.
They don't build immunity.
12 other kids' faces, right? They're not hanging around with a whole bunch of other kids and their finger picking, selves.
It's like sterilizing everything.
Right. I mean,
to combat that, Dylan. So the first year that I had my own daughter in daycare, she also developed staph infection from being in daycare, which was passed to multiple children. So I get what you're saying, but I don't think it applies all the time. And I don't know if you've seen a child with staph infection, but it's
no, I agree. My kids are homeschooled too, so even though I believe it, I'm not about to send my kids into those nasty little cesspools.
Yeah.
I do believe that being around those cesspools builds immunity, but at the same point, when I believe that, and my daughter was put in daycare, she got a staph. I just don't even have any control whatsoever, and that's no control of the situation. So let's just see what happens.
Okay.
The other Ed said that he drank water in Mexico. He's immune to everything. Me too, Ed.
I made the mistake of doing that, and my gringo belly didn't like it. It was like Montezuma's revenge is a very real thing.
Yes, it is.
Well, here's something that's real also. It's not just Mexico. You're from Ohio. You go to Arizona, drink the water, eat the food there, you're liable to get sick too. You go to California, you eat the food there, drink the water there, you can get sick there too. Your body is not used to that. And until it does,
bottled water wherever you go.
Yep. That's a bottled water. Yeah. We will carry a case in the car all the time.
Okay, we have a couple requests from the room.
Okay.
Stop talking about COVID.
Stop talking about depressing COVID stuff. Talk about gold.
Talk about gold.
These people, for some reason, have gold on their mind. I don't know what's wrong with them.
I think they have gold fever, Dylan.
Yes,
I think they have gold fever.
I think everyone has gold fever. They wouldn't be here.
Yeah, you bet.
There is no cure, ladies and gentlemen. There is no cure.
Yeah.
A little relief, and that's about it.
That's it. You get a few minutes of, oh my God, that's so awesome. And you stare at it, you shake your little vial, then you put the vial away and you said, damn, now I need more gold. The vial just is never full enough.
That's like a crack addict.
That's it. That's it. Gold crack.
Yeah.
You get a half a vial full and you're loving it. The next morning you wake up and you're wondering why the vial's only half full. Why didn't you get the full vial?
Man, that looked. I could have swore they had more in it last night. Need more.
Dip it into my crack.
No, I do that all the time though too, because I weigh up my gold all the time. I'll weigh it up, and 2 days later, I'm sitting there and bored. Let me weigh up my gold again. And even though I know what's in it because I just weighed it up 2 days and I haven't.
Well, you can always hope it grows, right?
That's it. I'm hoping I might have just scale might have been wrong. Something might have been up. But then I'll weigh it again.
Put some more in it.
Our favorite gold digger. She's not a gold digger. She digs gold. Nikki from New South Wales was wondering, what's your best find?
So far, I think my biggest nugget I've ever found is 2.2 grams. That's it. So, which is actually pretty rare, considering on average, the bags of pay dirt I buy are probably in the $50 to $100 range. So, and I think I found a 2.2 gram nugget from Lynch Mining. I'm sure I paid more than $100 for it to find that, but I don't remember what I paid. But that's my biggest nugget or my son's biggest nugget. I should clarify. My son's biggest nugget is 2.2 grams. My son's biggest nugget is 2.2 grams right now. So
Richard Davis has a question for all of us. Go ahead and shoot, Richard. We'll see if we can answer.
While we're waiting, Will, thank you for the $5 super sticker.
Great guy, Will.
Yeah, he is. I see we have a lot of the same family members. Dylan.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah, everyone tends to follow everybody, which is good. Is it good to clean your gold or leave it dingy? I leave mine dingy, but that's up to everyone's personal thing. I don't think it changes the price any.
Yeah.
Never even thought about it. Never even thought about cleaning my gold, other than separating the black sands away from it.
Yeah, I mean, it won't change the price any.
Right.
Yeah, how do you clean gold?
Well, if it's natural gold, you can just put it in vinegar. You can soak it in vinegar, and it'll make it a little bit shinier. It depends on what it's dirty with. If it's dirty with iron or something like that, it might be a little bit more difficult. But a lot of pay dirt sellers, that's what one thing is, even in my reviews, I do talk about the color of the gold, because some sellers are notorious for cleaning their gold beforehand. Or if a lot of sellers buy their pay dirt or their gold from I don't want to again mention names, but there's a seller online who sells a lot of gold. His name's Grant. And he cleans all his gold before he sells it. So it's really, really shiny. It's easy to find.
Nuggets by Grant?
Yes. But then while some other sellers like Gold Bay, if you buy a lot of his pay dirt, a lot of his gold tends to be dull and not as shiny. So, like I said, this is all back to the description. If people said the gold's really shiny, then it's easy to find. If it's dull and, I've seen some sellers that some of their gold is so dull and so iron oxide that it's hard to distinguish it even as gold.
Then there's the purity issue too,
Well, I don't worry about the purity issue too much. That's nothing that's ever bugged me, because gold sells for the same price regardless. If it's natural gold, it'll sell for the exact same price. So,
right.
I know.
Me, I didn't know. I had no idea. So thanks for that.
Yeah. There's a lot. It's funny. There's a lot of reviews. Even Clash. If you watch any of old Clash videos, he used to do his ROI based on 18 karat gold because he said that's what the average is. But I did a video to explain why I do my ROIs on 24 karat, and it's based on the fact that if you go to somebody like Nuggets by Grant, he sells all his gold at a premium of 24 karat. So right now you'd be paying probably $2,000 for an ounce from him. And his gold ranges from 16 karat all the way up to 23. So it's still the exact full range, and you're still paying a premium. If you go to eBay and you put up a ounce of gold nuggets, doesn't matter what the carat is, they're going to pay whatever spot price is. So,
right,
because it's natural. 99% of all gold is melted down and made into something else.
Right.
Nuggets and natural placer gold is rare. Because most people will sell it and eventually it finds its way into a computer or a phone or something else. So
somebody's ring or whatever. That's it,
jewelry. So, natural nuggets sell for 24 karat prices. You'll get people that argue the other way, but I know I sell a lot of it. So,
wow. Terry Marshall found a nugget metal detecting over 3 ounces.
Man.
Holy Toledo.
That's a nice find.
You bet.
If you send it my way, I'll test it for you to make sure it's real. I might scratch off about an ounce or so to get it to make sure the test works, you know.
All right.
All right,
Yeah,
where will later.
definitely.
So, Dylan, do people send you their pay dirt for you to review, or do you have to purchase
No, I have to purchase it. I don't let anyone. I've had a lot of companies offer to send me pay dirt, but I use a third party to buy all my pay dirt. I have some of my, Patreon members, some of my subscribers, some friends of mine. I have them. I send them a list every month or every 2 months. Order me all this pay dirt. They order it, then they ship it to me. Otherwise, it would be usually faked, and
or easily faked for sure?
yes.
Oh, they could load it up.
Yeah, I mean, I've had sellers before who have sent me pay dirt and, and I've had people where they'll ask me, and I actually just had someone send me a bag of pay dirt where they asked me, would you review it? And I tell them all the same thing. They can send it to me and I'll review it, but I won't put it on film. I will review it and tell them what my review is so they could try to improve it or change things. And 99% of the time, they never send me the pay dirt once I tell them that. They're like, oh, nope, they just wanted the free publicity. But somebody actually just sent me one the other day, and he's thinking about starting to sell pay dirt. So I told him, if you send it to me, I'll give you my critique, but it won't be publicity, And he was a nice guy. He sent it to me. I still haven't gone through it because I'm in Dallas. So as soon as I get back, I'm going to go through it and find out. But
Cool.
Fair, man. I appreciate the honesty in that.
Yeah, I try to, I make sure that I try to make sure all my bags of pay dirt are as, normal as possible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't always do that just because, I actually have a video coming out pretty soon where I'm going to talk about how no matter even using a third party, the results aren't always going to be the exact, because sometimes I might go to a company like, say, Dirt Hog. I think when I did Dirt Hog last year, I bought one of each of their bags. So I ended up spending like $700. So they might have given me better bags than they would a normal guy who just bought one bag. But, it was still through a third party. So it's you do as much as you can to try and make it, where the owners don't.
When you do your reviews, is it just based off of one bag, or will you try to bring in multiple bags?
I do only do one bag. I have a couple times done comparison videos where I bought in 2 bags that are pay dirt from 2 different people and compared them. But most of the time I only do one, because in the long run, most of the time I lose a lot of money. You buy a $50 bag of pay dirt off of eBay and you get $1 worth of gold. If I did that twice, I would just lose too much money. So, but generally what I do is at the end of the year, last year I did it, in the year before, I go back through all my old reviews and I give a top 10 or a top 20 of the best sellers I had. And then I'll try to re-review them this year to see where they're doing. And it's pretty interesting. Like, I think it was last year, I had one seller who I reviewed twice, and both times I got an over 100% ROI from. And a lot of people were getting it too. I mean, he was actually a really popular eBay seller. Everyone was loving him. And I re-reviewed him this year, and I think I got 50% ROI, and so did everyone else. Because,
It goes with their luck. Maybe sometimes it's higher, maybe sometimes it's
well, one of the things I've noticed since I have been doing this for 5 years now on YouTube alone, is a lot of sellers are smart. They will sit there and they know if you put a product out and you put out 100% ROI or 90 to 100 for the first year, you don't make any money. But then after that, you've got a built-in customer base, email set where you can email people. I mean, just look at Felix Pay Dirt. Felix Pay Dirt has been around forever, mailing you those little brochures in the mail and these flyers and the commercials and everything else, is because they've got a set customer base, and that's what these customers do. And I've noticed there's been some.
They used to give out ounce nuggets.
Yeah, that's right.
We have a friend here in Ohio that walks around with one in his pocket.
That's how we do.
That's if you get a set customer base, you can slowly lower, and there's a couple, like one of my personal favorite sellers is Lynch Mining. I really like the owner, I like his pay dirt, but I've said it multiple times. When he first started, you would probably get closer to a 90 to 100% ROI the first year he came out. And now it's about a 60 to 70%, because as you start selling more and more every year, you can start cutting a little bit down, and it's not only just the fact that they're getting greedy. It's a fact that once you start selling more, your costs go up.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I know when Lynch Mining first opened, it was just him and his wife bagging up their bags of pay dirt and shipping them out. And now he has 6 employees working for him. So those 6 employees got to get paid somehow, and it just slowly cuts into it. So it's hard. That's why I'm always astonished that Dave still from Gold Bay managed to have such a good product with, you know, as busy as he is, because he's a very busy man. I've seen some of his buckets that he's got loaded with shipping stuff, you know. So, but I do try to re-review people, especially if I got a good review from them. Because you know, if you get a bad review, every once in a while I will go back to them if it's not horrible. You know, if I get a 1% and it's obviously these people are like Golden, where Golden's just trying to rip you off, there's no reason to keep reviewing them. But you never know. Someone could have had a bad bag, and I do try to go back every once in a while. But if I have a good bag, I always try to go back just to see if that was just pure luck or if they did have, you know, if they are selling a really good product.
Yeah, I just went through a gallon jug of his pay dirt, Dave's pay dirt.
Yep.
I think I got like 7 grams, a little over 7 grams.
Who was that from?
Dave.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Dave's a great guy. I love his pay dirt.
Oh, Gold Bay, yeah.
Yeah, Gold Bay. The one nugget was what, 3.2 grams?
Yeah, I don't know how. I did see, I think he just raised his prices the other day.
He said he raised his prices a couple times in the last few days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's hard, you know. I don't think he should raise his prices personally, but that's just me. I think he should keep selling it for what he sells. He can take a loss for a while, you know.
I suppose that's a part of the business, is that you have to really build that fan base to continue to convert the people.
Right, yeah. I mean,
I think Dave has a criteria for when he raises his prices. I think the price has to go up a certain amount for a certain length of time before he actually raises. But the way gold's going right now, it's shooting up pretty quick.
Yeah, he hasn't been too bad.
No,
you know, most sellers haven't been too bad. I think a lot of it, the reason that most sellers don't have to jack up the price so quickly is because a lot of them, if you're busy, you pre-made your pay dirt. You've already got a set cost, you know.
Right.
If you've already got 1,000 bags made, it doesn't. If you made them for $50, it doesn't matter if gold goes up to 200.
Right.
You know, you still know what you have into it. And I'm sure at some point, if it started getting close to 200, they want to make more profit, so they'll jump it up a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I read his explanation about how, you know, it goes up and has to stay up for a little while before he'll actually change his prices. And it probably has to do with what he's already got in stock.
Yeah.
And what he's getting ready to mine out or whatever.
Right.
Because I believe he also has his own mine, right?
Yes, he does. He actually has a couple of them. So,
yeah. So he just doesn't buy gold, but he actually produces gold too.
Yeah, he does produce gold. So he's actually pretty funny. You know, if you follow him on Facebook, his mines tend to produce bigger gold, like really chunky gold. So he goes on Facebook all the time and has to trade big nuggets for small gold because he doesn't have enough small gold to put in his pay dirt. And I think that's funny. You know, that's a problem I think everyone wishes they had if they owned a gold mine where you weren't finding small gold, you know.
That's terrible.
I know. It's just such hard news to hear when you're like, oh, I'm finding nothing but nuggets, you know. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to start digging a new area to find small gold. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. The life of a miner, right?
Yeah. He's got a rough one.
Let me interject real quick. Raven, have a good night. You and Smackarock, thank you very much for the super chat.
Good night, Raven. Smackarock.
That it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Raven's
looking for Jonathan Friends.
Black mass pay dirts.
Yeah. Black Mass Pay Dirt needs to open up a website.
Yeah, I thought he sells through his Facebook. I thought I had him on Facebook.
I think right now Jonathan Friend's only selling through Gmail.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
horrible way to sell. That's a horrible way to sell.
You need to get a website, dude.
Yeah. I've told him. I emailed him and told him, and he says it's coming soon.
Yeah, you gotta let him grow as they need to grow. You know, maybe he's not quite ready for that kind of volume increase.
But that's a good thing about a website. You say, I got 10 bags. Once they're sold, you're sold out. It just gives you more legitimacy. You know, it's with one of the things with the problem with gold pay dirt is there's a lot of bad people out there. You know, I mean, it's pretty much anything, you know, but there's, you know, like someone mentioned earlier, if it was the Real Dirt Hog website, there was a guy out there who still says he has 12 websites currently, but he made, you know, Lynch Mining is a really popular site. He made a website called Lynch Minings and added an S, spoofed the website, and was selling people junk pay dirt. He did Klondike Clinkers. He made a knockoff website of Klondike Clinkers. He did a knockoff of Felix Pay Dirt. Lots of it. And what was happening is these people were buying lots of pay dirt from him, thinking this is a legitimate website. They were finding no gold. I mean, absolutely no gold. And then but then when they went to Google to search for the site again, they would find the legitimate site and send these people horrible emails saying, you know, you ripped me off, you did this and this. So that's what I was saying, you know, it's one thing to sell, you know, I understand he's small, you know, and I like Jonathan Friend, he's a great guy, but, you know, it's hard to convince somebody, let me send email and then send you PayPal as friends only, you know.
Right.
There's a lot of people that go under. I mean, I watch a lot of people on Facebook that do the Razzies, and I can't tell you the number of times I've seen people saying that they never collected their prizes on Razzie, even though this person was great for 2 years, and all of a sudden they disappeared and, you know, took off with a couple $100 from people because, you know, stuff happens. They might have had a heart attack, you don't know, or they could have just been broken. So, you know, not that a website would really keep them from ripping people off. It does give you the feel of a little bit more legitimacy. It'll help you sell more, you know.
Even people with websites can have problems where they don't.
Well, I agree. There's
or don't mail out the prizes they give away. You know.
Oh, I know that. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, people on YouTube, sadly, who do raffles and giveaways that never ship the prizes, you know, which is why YouTube is always cutting back on it and banning channels for it, you know, so.
Oh, I had no idea that was an issue, you guys.
Oh, anything you can dream of to be an issue will be an issue.
Yeah, that's it.
That's why I guess you should stick to the challenges then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. At least you know they're fairly honest, right? But is there, like, when you're with going through all these reviews you've been doing, have you found that there's a red flags that'll tell you maybe you should stay away from that?
No, sadly, no. You know, one of the things, generally, if they say the word nuggets, one of the things I've learned doing this, if they say you will find nuggets and it's a $20 bag of pay dirt, it's not a nugget. I have a term, a lot of people, we joke about it a lot. It's called eBay nuggets. And that's usually like minus 40 mesh gold. And,
Ohio nuggets.
Yeah, if you put any gold under a magnifying glass, it looks like a nugget. So, So now I kind of use the term eBay nuggets. So if you see a seller selling a bag of pay dirt for $40 and it says nuggets, if you think about it, a nugget to most people is going to be over 10 mesh. It'll probably weigh around a quarter of a gram. Right there, you figure that's $15, $20 worth of gold from one piece. If the bag of pay dirt's 30, there's no way you're going to find 10 or 12 nuggets like these sellers will sell. And you'll see a lot of it. If you go on eBay and you actually type in eBay 10 nuggets, pay dirt, there will be descriptions that show up that will say guaranteed 10 to 12 nuggets, and the bags of pay dirt are $20. You know, it's
too good to be true.
Right. It's usually that's the sign. You know, a lot of sellers don't want to put the amount of gold, and I understand why, because you don't, you know, you kind of want the thrill. You want to be, you know, if you tell somebody there's exactly 1 gram, they're going to find exactly 1 gram. It's not as much fun.
Well, you could say like there's guaranteed to be at least.
Right. I mean, there's some sellers that do that. I know there's a couple sellers that'll say like at least a half a gram, and you will find a gram. But some just don't want to say what you're going to find. But then they'll start putting in big words like nuggets, and you'll find massive amounts of nuggets. You know, I just reviewed a seller the other day, a website, bignuggetpaydirt.com. And all his descriptions were the same pretty much. He was like, his first bag was, I think, $25, and it was, you're going to find lots of gold nuggets. And the second bag was, you'll find twice as many gold nuggets as the $25 bag. And when I reviewed it, I think it was a $50 bag. I think I found $12 worth of gold, and none of them were nuggets. None of them would be even close to being nuggets. I mean, even in my thumbnail, I had to use a magnifying glass in the thumbnail to make that nuggets. So, it's
This
just
was
that,
blown 50 times.
yeah, I mean, that's generally, that's why I say a lot of times, I keep saying, descriptions say a lot about a seller. And if they'll tell you the ones that have very basic descriptions are usually the ones that'll rip you off the most, or ones that say nuggets. For some reason or another, they seem to think everything in gold is a nugget. So since there's technically no real term, like if you Google or go to just, a dictionary for gold nugget, there's no set amount, it's
Right.
Coming from a newbie, coming from somebody doing this, if I were to see nuggets, I'd instantly think like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. This is gonna be great. I'd go right for it.
Yeah, well, see, that's what they prey on. They know that's what 90%, sadly, a lot of sellers know that, if you've got 300 million people that could buy your pay dirt, you only need to sell to them once.
Yeah.
And they don't want repeat customers. They're fine ripping you off once. And it's sad, but they generally can try. And also, I mean, it's hard to do, but a lot of sellers, like especially on eBay, will copy paste Golden Pay Dirt's description and put that in there because he's got a great description. So if you notice that, then okay, if they're going to copy paste his description, they probably copy pasted his junky pay dirt. They're going to use that same formula and give you bad pay dirt. So
they're not targeting like Daniel, Ed, or myself. They're targeting Rose.
Yes, that's what most of these people are doing, is they're going after those first timers. Especially if you're going to sell on eBay. Most people that sell on eBay, it's not all, but I mean, there's a couple really good sellers on eBay, but the vast majority of people that sell on eBay are just trying to make a quick buck. I mean, and another thing to look for is the area. So one of the big things I've noticed is a lot of Alaskan pay dirt is sold out of Florida. A lot of Alaskan pay dirt is sold out of Florida. Now, I don't mind so much. I know most of this with people that buy pay dirt, I know it's mostly in our head. You think you're going to find this great adventure. And I don't mind. If somebody says, hey, my pay dirt's from Florida, it doesn't have any real gold in it, but I put gold in it, I'm okay with that. But when you see them start lying, saying, oh, I went to Alaska and I shipped back 50 gallons of dirt to sell. Yeah, the amount of money that would cost them to send a truckload of dirt from Alaska to Florida, they would lose money immediately, or they'd have to jack up the price so much, and you find so little gold, it's a ripoff. So, I mean, I do know there are some legitimate sellers in Washington that sell Alaskan pay dirt, and in the northern states, that's what they do. They drive up there, they mine for the summer, then they drive back. But you'd be amazed at how many people in Florida are selling Alaskan pay dirt. So, always look for, where it's shipping from. And then again, if it says nuggets.
Love the education here, Dylan. This is fantastic. Thank you.
It's all right.
So there really are some red flags.
Yes, there are. I mean, but it's hard to tell, a lot of times, usually generally, it's the one thing, it is the description. If it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true, but, because I've seen I just, as a matter of fact, the website I just talked about, big gold nugget pay dirt or whatever it was, even all over his website, he guarantees you'll find nuggets. He uses the word guaranteed a dozen times. And I emailed him back and forth a couple times before I did the review, asking him what he considered a nugget. And he kept saying, getting around the issue, saying, well, everyone's idea of a nugget is different. And I said, well, what classification? And he told me, oh, all over 10. None of the gold I found was over 10 mesh. It was all tiny, tiny flakes. So after I did the review, I emailed him and said, well, what about my guarantee? I said, I want my guaranteed nuggets. And I haven't heard back from him since. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard, which is one of the reasons why I do my reviews, because it is hard to tell who's going to be a good seller, who's not. I've seen some websites that I thought were going to be good, and, I ended up getting ripped off. And I've seen some eBay sellers who I thought were going to be garbage. They had one sentence, pay dirt, and that was it. And you'd be like, okay, this is $60 for a bag that just says pay dirt. and I end up finding $45, $50 worth of gold. So it's like, wow, just you can never really tell, but there are some red flags to always look for. If it does sound too good to be true, it probably is.
So do you like if you get somebody and who sells their pay dirt unsearched off the dredge from a known gold-bearing stream, is that something that you would look at and consider? Or
yeah, I have bought a lot of unsearched bags, but in my personal experience, nobody sells
There ain't no
unsearched pay dirt.
such thing.
Nobody sells unsearched pay dirt, because if you think about it statistically, I love to do math. When I do my reviews, I love to do the math. I think, if I see one seller selling a bag of pay dirt for $100 and he guarantees 1 gram, and another guy selling a $100 bag of pay dirt for half a gram, I'll do the math and figure out which one's a better deal. And when you think about gold being found, it's usually per gram per ton. So
Right.
if you can find, a nice place to dredge that's got 10 grams per ton, if you took that ton of pay dirt and sold it in 1 pound bags, nobody would find any gold. It would be, you'd find 1 flake per bag. So unsearched pay dirt can't be real. Nobody would sell it. They wouldn't make any money. I know there's some famous sellers out there from Alaska. There's a couple of them that say they sell unsearched pay dirt, but they have to add gold. Because if you think about the math, if you took unsearched pay dirt and just dug it up out of the ground, the odds are every 1 pound bag would have about 0.001 grams of gold.
I'm talking about something that's not like someone who dredged in a stream for a day, and they took their cons and sold them as unsearched.
Right. Well, if they were selling unsearched cons, again, it wouldn't happen, because it's the same thing as if you found a mother lode. Like, let's say if you were digging in the dirt and all of a sudden you hit a giant vein of gold, you would not scoop that out and put it in a bag and sell it, because you wouldn't want to sell a $50 bag of pay dirt knowing that there could be $1,000 worth of gold in it. So the only way they're going to sell that is if they know they're making a profit. So that means it's not unsearched, because what they're going to do is they're going to take that dredge, they're going to go through it and see, okay, I've got about $100 worth of gold here, I'm going to sell it for $200. So it's no longer unsearched, because now they know what they have there. Yeah. It's why you don't find, and it's just common sense. I mean, I would love if they had sellers that sold real unsearched cons, but if I was running a dredge and I saw my mats were full of gold, I'd want to know how much gold was in there before I sold it, because no one's going to want to, you're putting your hard work into it. If I was out there sweating for a week to fill up my dredge, my matting with gold, I'm not going to sell it for $300 when there could be $800 worth of gold. So a lot of times what they'll do is they'll get their dredge, they'll see how much gold's in it, then they'll add enough dirt added to it so they make sure they make a profit, so then it no longer becomes unsearched,
Right.
It's business practice to begin with, so.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice. I mean, it's one of the things that a lot of people search for, is everyone's always looking for that unsearched bag that they'll hit the mother lode. You'll buy a $100 bag and find $500 worth of gold, but it doesn't happen. It would be nice, but I will say, honestly, the best I've ever heard is, I know through Gold Bay, because he does use Gold Bay. From my understanding, Dave does just take his minings and then just add gold to it. So if you buy a 3 pound bag, he takes 3 pounds of his mining tailings and adds the 3 grams you were guaranteed. And I actually know personally someone who bought a 3 gram bag and found 7 grams of gold. So that's the best I know of so far. Someone bought a 3 gram bag for, I think, $129 at the time. That's what it was, or $189. It was $189, and they found 7 grams of gold. So that's about the best. So.
Yeah, that's.
I need to talk to Dave again. I bought stuff from Dave, but before he moved, when he was still living in Spokane, I talked to him about being on the show, but now he's in California. I'd like to get him on.
Yeah, he'd be a good guy to have on here.
Yeah, he has some good articles on how to spot fake nuggets and stuff like that.
He's a really smart guy, so, and he's fun, you know. He'd be a great person. You probably have a ton of people watching him trying to get discounts. Trying to butter him up.
Hoping to do some giveaways.
I can guarantee you, though, if you do a show with Dave, I guarantee you will have more people in this chat who say they're going to do a review. Hey, Dave, I'm about to buy a bag to do a pay dirt review. I'm trying to get a bag. I can't tell you the number of times, because I follow Dave on Facebook, and I can't tell you the number of times he puts out a new product that I will see people who do pay dirt reviews posting, oh, I just bought a bag to do a review on. It's like, how? You just told him. So now he's going to send you a bag. You know, you just nullified the entire, you know, secret part of doing the review if you tell him you're buying a bag, you know.
All right. Good night, Joseph Richard. He's got to get up at 4 a.m.
Oh, good night, Joseph. Good to see you, buddy.
Sorry to hear you got to wake up at 4.
Yeah.
I wake up at the same time, but Tuesday nights I never get to bed before midnight. It's a work night, you know. But I love this job.
Oh.
I saw Nikki in here is posting about Golden Spear Mining in Australia. I can say I've reviewed them, and they're a good mine. I like them. I like their pay dirt from Golden Spear Mine. You know.
No, I thought it's really hard to get any gold out of Australia.
Well, they don't tell you.
Yeah. It's
as long as you don't tell them what's in the thing, you know, when you're filing your little form out what it is.
Right, right.
But I've reviewed a couple sellers out of Australia. It costs too much. I wish I could do more pay dirt reviews from overseas, but the shipping killed me. Yeah. Last year I did an entire month where I think I did 12 reviews from all overseas, and I think I ended up spending, because not only did I have to pay for shipping, I paid for, you know, the global shipping for somebody to ship to my friend, and then have my friend reship it to me priority mail. So I was spending $25 per bag on shipping. It wiped out my entire gold fund in 1 month. And what's sad is most bags of pay dirt overseas are much worse than ours. Much worse than ours. I mean, I feel bad for them. I mean, you know, we have golden pay dirt. To them, they would love golden pay dirt in the UK, you know, because the pay dirt in, you know, England and Europe is so bad. I mean, it's like 10% ROIs. It's just really, really bad.
Ooh.
So they would love golden pay dirt in the UK. Australia's got some good sellers, though. Australia has some really good sellers, but that's some good gold in Australia.
Yeah, shipping to Nikki when she sent me the Vegemite and some shirts and stuff, $45. Yeah, I'm just glad it got here. That was quite a memorable piece of toast, Nikki.
Ed, you ate 2 pieces, didn't you?
No. I braved through one. Very well buttered. David Villa, but Nikki, we love you for it.
It's a great show, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some pay dirt sellers on like Facebook, and I won't mention any names, who start off really good, but all of a sudden.
Tell names, speak names.
No, I won't do that.
Out for.
Well, they're pretty obvious. If you pay attention to what's going on with their page, you can find out who they are.
Yeah. Well, I generally tell everybody I would not personally buy off of Facebook. I personally would not buy off of eBay, even though there are some great sellers. Some of my best ROIs I've ever gotten have been off of eBay, but I personally wouldn't buy off of them because there's better sellers that have websites and long tenures. Because you can see a website, if you see like Dave's had his website for 10 years selling pay dirt.
He's been around for a while.
And, you know, and then, you know, things about Facebook is way too easy to cheat on. You know, eBay, it's easy to cheat on. You know, one of the things is I reviewed a guy on eBay, I guess it was about 2 years ago, and I gave him a bad review. He changed his name, and he has changed his name every month for the last 2 years, and I keep
Yeah,
updating his
that's
review.
actually the guy I was just talking about.
Names, Jess. Call it out. Let people know when they're going to get scammed.
Trust me, this guy's really obvious, and his the comments that he gets, it's obvious what he's up to because it's everybody bitching.
Well,
you know.
So, but personally, you know, I it's really hard. You know, one of the reasons why I wouldn't buy off of eBay is just because of the fees. You know, if you go to a website like Dave's website, it doesn't cost him to sell anything on his website other than the credit card transaction, which is about 3.5% usually from PayPal or somebody else. But if you go to eBay, eBay's taking 10%, and then you have the credit card transaction of 3.5%. So right off the top, if somebody's selling a bag of pay dirt for $100, $13.50 of that's going to somebody else.
Right.
Where if I went to Dave, that extra $10 could be $10 worth of gold in my pocket. So, you know, it's why I say, you know, I'd stay away from Facebook because Facebook is still too new with their marketplace and they're selling. The fact that they allow Razzies and raffles and all these things, which technically are illegal, you know, it just makes me want to stay away. It's just way too easy to get ripped off.
Right. And when you say, is that legal? They go off the handle, you know something's up. Yeah. You know? So, I mean, the reason, and I'll tell you, Rose, why I don't mention names, because I don't buy pay dirt. So I don't know exactly what his product is, but I know from looking at what I'm reading that I probably don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
So, because I don't buy pay dirt, I'm not going to throw anybody's name out there.
Yeah.
If I was a reviewer like Dylan is, that would be different. But I'm not, so I'm not going to do that. I mean, that's all, you know.
Yeah, like most time when I get dirt, I just pan it and show it. I don't give a review.
Right.
I'm like, I got a gift from a friend, like when I had JPs and benzos and stuff. I show what they have. I might weigh it. I did weigh the brick from Benzo, and I actually got more than what he said was in it. So.
Well, I mean,
it was a challenge. It was a muddy mess. It was a challenge. He definitely provided what he guaranteed, a challenging pan. Good old Benzo's brick.
Although there are some people that sell pay dirt that I will give kudos to because I've had it. You know, like I like Carolina Prospectors pay dirt.
Yeah.
When I buy from Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually when I buy from him, I'll buy a big sandbag full because I'm using that for other things, like the giveaway that we did at Flash Bash, right?
Right. We added to it every week, and
right. But we added to that, but that was for a giveaway. People that I've known and met, I may buy a bag from them because I'm just helping them out.
Yeah. Like Michael from I Pan for Gold, Tom Gold Dirt.
He does have some good gold bags. I don't know if you've tried his.
I Pan for Gold, yes, I've tried him before. Yes, I like him.
Yeah. Plus, Michael's a very good man.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
He's a lot like Tom.
Yeah.
And Dave. You could tell Dave's a good guy. I don't know him personally. I've chatted with him a few times, but
yeah, same here. Other than that, yeah, you know, I really don't.
Well, one thing I always tell people is because one of the things about if you are a mailbox miner, if you enjoy doing pay dirt at home like I do, is it can get very expensive if every week, like if you say I've got in my budget to buy one bag of pay dirt every week, if you buy somebody new every week and if you get ripped off a lot, eventually you say, well, I can't afford to do this anymore. As I always tell people, stick with one really good company, like somebody like iPan for Gold, you know, Tom's Gold Dirt, Gold Bay, one of those. And 3 weeks out of a month, do them. And then 1 week, try somebody new until you find a second really good company. Like, so that if you like iPan for Gold, you add them to your list.
Right.
And just start keeping good. Because when I first started, I was just buying the new bag from a new person every single week, just saying, oh, 5 pounds. And I was just getting ripped off continually because even though I might find one good bag from one, I was just skipping them to go to the next, looking for that next huge find,
right.
And the new next adventure. It's kind of like, doing the lottery tickets. Like you said, you do one, you want to try a different one, and you want to try a different one, but if you get one, if you bought a lottery ticket, like say, if you get the bingo one, if every time you buy one, you're winning, you kind of want to stick with that one most of the time, and every once in a while venture off and just keep adding to your portfolio of good companies.
Creature of habit, man. I stick with the same thing. So, that's about it. But maybe I'll venture out in the long run. I'll have to watch some of your reviews first, Dylan.
Yeah. So, but actually, I just did a review, I think, about 3 weeks ago where I bought a bag of mystery pay dirt, which was no guaranteed gold, and it cost me, I forget how much it was. But then I bought that many. Gold. It was $60. It was $60. It had no guaranteed gold. And then I bought 60 lottery tickets and compared the two to see which one I got better results from. And the lottery tickets won by a landslide. It wasn't as much fun. I didn't have as much fun because I love panning pay dirt. But the ROI was much better. I think I ended up with like a 90% ROI with the scratchers. So.
But it's all about fun, though. It's all about fun and big
I had fun with both of them, So it was a fun video to shoot too. So
definitely pay dirt is not for making a profit.
No.
It's not going to happen. Unless you got gold at a really, got some really good gold at a really cheap price, and it's the way it's climbing, it's getting better. You've had it for a while.
You can get it for a profit. There's actually a seller on Facebook who he's a miner. I mean, it's JJ Prospecting, and he sells his flour gold guaranteed cheaper than than spot. So, it's all flour gold though. Usually, like if spot was, I think last bag I bought from him at the time, 5 grams I bought. I think he charged me $300 and the spot was $330. So, or it was opposite, something like that. But he guarantees, because he's just trying to make us get money,
Right.
Now,
he gets his cons down. He doesn't want to have to pan it all out. It's a lot easier for him just to mail it to you and, it's free. It's essentially free gold. He mined it all. So,
yeah, basically what he's done is pull it out of the ground for you, concentrated it down. Yeah. Now he's letting you buy it from him like you were buying gold.
Yeah. So, so there are some people you can make money off of, but that's not fun work. All his gold is minus 50. So you're going to spend a good couple hours. So if your time's worth money, you're going to lose out in the end. So,
okay.
But in most cases, you're buying pay dirt just for fun,
Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
An important part of recognizing what pay dirt is, and that's just from somebody who just very recently met gold prospectors, gold miners, whatever you want to call it. Pay dirt seems to be like, for me, I'm like lottery tickets. It's a gamble. Have some fun doing it. And then Jesse, one more shout out to you. Practice on the game.
Yes, that's exactly it. The reason I do my reviews is just to try and hedge people's bets. So, it's just like, when I buy lottery tickets, in fact, when I did my review that I compared the two in Indiana, you can see that every lottery ticket that they sell, you can see what prizes have been claimed. So I went with the one lottery ticket that had the fewest prizes claimed. So I bought those tickets and I bought however many there were of it. And that's why I won, is just because I did the math and improved my odds.
Yeah, you're right. You got the odds in your favor. Hey, let me say hi to somebody here just popped in.
Hey, Swifty.
Swiftwater Tony. Hey, what's up? Just saying.
One of our friends over at the Gold Prospector Space, Prospectors Radio Crew. Just a reminder, if you're not part of Gold Prospector Space, head over there. It's a great community of all types of treasure hunters They have a live show every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesdays for West Coast Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hey,
Good
who else
group
I
of
see?
people.
Randy, Scotty, Tony, what's up, RST?
Yeah, he's been here for a
Oh, I
while.
didn't see him. He's been quiet.
My relative just showed up, Bill.
I
Hey,
see
what's up,
Don also showed up, Mr. BMX, my
Mhm.
friend from Washington State.
Awesome. A little late. We're getting ready. We're getting close to that 10 o'clock hour. Yes, what?
Has everybody given it a chance to hit that like button?
Well, I don't know. Mr. Lodak, did everybody hit that like button yet? I actually did earlier today when I first popped into the room. And the first thing I did.
Always do it as soon as he puts it up on the thing.
Yeah, at least you didn't forget tonight, huh, Jesse?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Hey, Ski Searcher.
Howdy.
Howdy. Excellent. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, it
I
does.
wonder, Scotty, did you get out today? Did you go out and dig?
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
I'm not. Do you know Scott Swiftwater,
No,
Tony?
he says. He says no.
He's from Indiana. Now he's a prospector out in Arizona.
He's a desert rat.
Yeah, it's too hot there.
Yeah, Scott,
Yes.
it's too hot out there.
Too hot.
Well, it's their off season right now.
Unless he got up at like 3 in the morning and went out.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. When I lived in
Then it's only
Arizona,
90. You know?
I'd
Right.
start on the job at 3 in the morning and work till noon, and
Thanks.
then we're out.
111 today.
Oh,
Was- It's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat.
yeah, and I was just about to say that our real feel here in Illinois is very close to that. So
Hmm.
we may be like 99, 100, but it feels like a million. And no, I would love the job of the person who decides what it feels like. Like, I think that's an awesome job. I'd like to
Yeah.
do that for a living so I could go outside and be like, it feels like 110 today. That's what I want to do when I grow up.
That's funny.
Yeah, just be like a groundhog every once in a while, pop out your front door and say, it's 80.
Oh, you see the temperature when you go outside. It says, "Oh, it's 98 degrees," but then you, being the person who decides, no, it really feels like 110. That's what it feels like. That's what I want to do.
And we got storms coming in tonight in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, it was rained on me pretty good coming home from work. I'm
Yeah.
just glad it didn't rain when we were pouring concrete footers.
Yeah, that
Oh.
always sucks.
Well, that's that time.
Yes, sir. And I told Dylan I'd keep him for about 2 hours.
All right.
Time
Well, I do
flies.
appreciate the invite. I appreciate being here and hanging out with all of y'all. So I appreciate that.
Well, I
Oh.
hope you had fun.
I did have fun. And if I didn't, I'll wait till I'm off air to tell anybody.
And educational. I really appreciate, a lot of newbies or a lot of the people who are figuring things out. I really hope they make it to your channel so they can get those reviews and maybe hopefully not,
I hope so. Yeah, I do.
information.
Yeah, I do need to make more informational videos. It's always on my to-do list, but
Help the people wanting to try it out the first time.
yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So what was your channel again?
Miller Prospecting. That's
Miller
it.
Prospecting on YouTube.
That's it. Easy one.
Yeah,
Easy.
I'll get a link out in the room for anyone who might not know.
Okay.
But,
Or you just type in Miller Prospecting. I'm the only one that shows up.
yeah, that's true. Wow, I beat Mr. Lodak. That was surprising.
Well, not on my side, you didn't.
Yeah.
Not on my
No.
side, you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't beat him.
Well, I go by my side. Not on my side, JP says.
That's all that
Yep.
counts, right?
Right.
Oh, your guys' chat's lagging. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for tonight's Tuesday Night Hangout Live with our special guest, Miller Prospecting. Dylan,
Thank you
it
for
was
having me.
great having it.
Yeah.
Our pleasure, man. Our pleasure.
I'm glad I got to be on the show. I
It was fun.
enjoyed myself.
And we
Good.
learned a few things, you know.
Yeah.
That was the best part. We learned some stuff.
Yeah.
Rose learned some new stuff. I learned some new stuff. That's that's part of what we want to
Yeah.
do. You know,
You have a
Spread
great
the
show,
knowledge.
so that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week is Open Line Tuesday, where you, our Flash fam, is our guest. So I hope we get some callers. Remember, call in or click on the link we put in the room and join us, and we'll make you the guest. So. Other than that, be safe out there. God bless. And may you always have a flash in your pan.
you know what he's gonna say next.
That's right, because it does happen. Ask
Yes, sir.
someone like JP or Benzo or HD or Rose. It happens. Maybe one day too. You'll meet us on the river. Until then, know what? We're totally out of here. Good night!
Later, everyone.
Folks.
As always, happy panning.
Bedrock just pops in. Bedrock Bennett.
Better late than never, Bedrock Bennett. Great time with Two Toes. Just watched it. 5, 4,
September.
3, 2, 1. Say that again, Jesse.
September.
September. Put us on the Nuggets.